So here we are, folks. We have been on a long journey together. And the fact that the LRA, along with our master developer partners, Stephen McCauley Investments, are coming to you to say, look at this plan and look at this zoning, because we're this close to being ready to begin. And Councilmember Shepherd knows, it's been a long time coming. So we're excited to be here sharing this rezoning with you. It's a big step. What we want you to know is that we have, thanks to Community Engagement Subcommittee and Councilmember Shepherd, we have been listening to you all along the way. The most recent time before our master developer partner, you may recall, the Livable Centers Initiative plan, where you participated extensively. You gave us the shared, authentic vision of this community that we were able, to the best of our ability, to capture in that plan. And that plan then allowed us to turn around and recruit a master developer partner, someone who has a shared vision and is willing to build it with the things that we need, recognizing this isn't going to just be some development that comes in and displaces everybody. This isn't going to be something that you build things here that the people who live in this community can't afford. That is not an option. So what we want you to do today is taking a good look, a deep dive look at the master plan. And what's happened is, under the leadership of Commissioner Tim King, the City of Atlanta has reviewed the LCI and reviewed the master plan. And you've seen the master plan along the way. We're now at the final version of the conceptual plan. I have to use that word conceptual because y'all know it's not going to look like it in the pictures. The pictures are here to help you visualize what's on the paper. But what actually gets built may be a different color, a different shape, or have a few other differences to it, but it's going to be in the same directions. It won't be able to go against what we are asking you all, CES, the NPUs, City Council to approve for this SPI zone. So I just wanted to give you that as background. Now they said to go through these slides, oh Lord. Okay, so I'm supposed to give you an overview, and then, I think I just did that, and then the Fort Mac development vision. And so we're gonna want to go through that fairly quickly now. We sent out links to this document. This is a 251-page document that contains all kinds of useful information about not only what the plan is, but how it was derived, and why we're doing things or suggesting things the way they are. So we've sent it out multiple occasions to CES. We forwarded it to the NPU chairs. We're hoping that they forwarded it along to you. So I'm hoping that everybody in this room has seen it. And if you haven't, I want you to email me, bhooker@fortmaclra.com, and I will get it to you. So with that said, all right, that's enough for the overview. The development vision. Then we're gonna, the agenda item 3, the big agenda item, the star of the show, Kieta Holmes from the City of Atlanta, is going to explain to you what on earth an SPI2 is. Because that is what we need you to understand, so that you can let us know what needs to be changed and how we can get your support. So, what you see on the right is kind of looking straight down at what the future plan would be. And you see, laser pointers don't work on screens. So, I'll just walk over to it. Well, then I don't have a microphone. Just complicated. Turn it on. Almost. Okay, so this entire area is the former Fort McPherson. You have Lee Street running north and south along here, and Hamilton Road from the MARTA station runs down here, and this is where you get to that gate, that ugly gate that's been closed for years now. Hamilton Road continues on to where it gets to Stanton Road right here. So, The light green in the middle is Tyler Perry Studios. And remember, the Army wanted us to buy the land from them. And we worked out a wonderful deal with Tyler Perry Studios where Tyler Perry paid for all of the land, but only kept that part. This stuff where you see the drawings is 145 acres that our authority owns free and clear. We didn't have to pay for it because Tyler paid for it. So Tyler Perry's investment in buying the land got us off to a great start. And then his investment in building the studio and the sound stages is bringing more activity that makes the redevelopment more attractive for developer partners. Along Lee Street, I'm gonna start, I'll do it right. Over in this section, we call it the Western District. We go along here, this is the Hamilton District. Through here, a bunch of historic buildings, it's called the Heritage District. And down here is the Market District. And when you walk around, you'll see Western District, Hamilton District, Heritage District, and Market District boards that we will, after this presentation, allow you to go to those areas, ask detailed questions, and dig down on what's actually there. So we'll show you an overview of them very quickly. Again, the Western District. And this is the key feature of the Western District is the planned school. We have a school that has apartments beside it and then a detention facility. And this is another view of the school from the fields that the apartments surround that the school views during school hours and the public can use after hours. And then this is just another view of the school. The Hamilton District in Hamilton Road here, that old gate is at this location. So what you have throughout here is housing of various sizes and types. Some single families, some duplexes, some townhomes, some larger apartment buildings, back to different sizes and types because those different types allow for a variety of uses. And one of the things we're focused on is making sure we've got supportive housing and transitional housing and affordable housing and workforce housing and market rate housing and even some luxury housing on this site. And places for folks at all those income levels to shop. So this is where you get to see the housing come together. This section also has a small commercial district. And what will be there? Now, this is the stuff across the street that we don't own, but we've done a little bit of planning for it to try to tie all this together. This is where there will be some office space, there will be some retail shops, there will be our job and career center, where people can come and get plugged into job and training opportunities. We also expect there to be veterans training over on this side of the property as well. So mostly housing, a little bit of retail, and services of that.
Brian, can you go back? That little area that you said that we don't belong, identify that in terms of streets.
Okay, this is Venetian, this is Kenilworth, this is Campbellton.
Okay.
So you got, well, it used to be Ickla's, the fish place here, got that old gas station that's been closed here, you got the little convenience store right here. The plan is restaurants and shops in a nice little, almost neighborhood village center. And this is what that is envisioned to look like. Here's Campbellton Road. Now, we're coming from Oakland City looking this way. Fort Mac properties on this side. So Job and Career Center and some retails over here, but then there's some other retail plan on this side. This building is where that grass is in front of Ickla's. Which, what do they call it now? The fish house? It's got an Atlanta Fish and Grill. That's what they call it now. So these are different views of what's envisioned at that intersection. This is standing on this is on Campbellton, this is on Venetian, looking in from Venetian to the main building that will be the gateway building at that site. And then inside the property, you can start to see some of the housing in the residential area. The Heritage or Historic District, you have more housing types, then you get to some smaller buildings. Now the interesting thing about these buildings is they are designed to have a similar look and feel of these grand historic houses on the parade ground. So when you see these, some of these will be luxury. Some of them will be broken up into more affordable units, but they're going to, because you can see those grand houses over the fence, the designers blended it in and even created created what they call the Northern Parade Ground, a smaller version of this wonderful Heideggen Field. Come around the corner here, more housing in this corner, and then you get down into this area where there's artist housing, there's supportive and transitional housing, there's corporate event and retreat center, there's going to be the Fort McPherson Credit Union is going to be in this area. So you're going to have a mix, but all of this is tied to those historic buildings.
I don't
Well, you know this whole thing. Why are you even looking? You could do this presentation. So that's what's going on and here are the looks that you can see. So this was that far northern corner, and you can see the luxury townhomes, the curved townhomes that'll be here. How do we know they'll be luxury? Building a curved building like this is really expensive. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of market drivers in here that determines how we get the affordable and the workforce and the supportive and other things in place. But when you take your construction costs through the roof to build something really cool, here's the curved building. Here's the curved building from the ground level. So if you're standing on this road looking at the building, that's what it's going to look like, and you can see behind it this taller building. This is the main entrance to the historic district, and then this also, those housing units and the curved building and this area. And then finally we get to the market district. Now this is where the most density is going to be. Everything you've seen so far is maybe 2 stories until you got to that one bigger building in the historic area. But now you're getting into where the real density is. We call this stretch the Fort Mac Mile. And this project is emerging as a hub for creatives that's going to be built around a trail network that goes through the Fort Mac Mile. And so here you've got Veterans Affairs with their administrative building and some of their housing and offices in this area. We are planning to, right now the gate comes in right into the Veterans Affairs building. We're planning to shift that down a little bit and come in this way. Here you're going to have housing on top of retail, housing on top of loft office, a municipal market, similar to what you have down in Sweet Auburn. That's something that the public is going to invest in to really get the project going. Because if you're talking about building 1,000 units of housing in phase 1, people want to have somewhere to shop. And we can more easily create a wonderful experience here than trying to attract some grocer or somebody who won't come until the households are all well established. The main building in the center here, the Forces Command, the former Forces Command headquarters, will remain. It'll be an office use. And most of the stuff you see over here is housing. We're also going to have a hotel right here, right off Lee Street. And then this is a civic use, the community theater. Or it's a place that we are hoping to be able to get philanthropic support to put a theater in there that allows us to attract performing arts on a regular basis to the site. So here are the looks of the Fort Mac Mile. The street is just 2 lanes. It's not designed to be Camilton Road or something. It's designed to let cars move along through the property. But the bikes will have their lanes, pedestrians will have their lanes, and the pedestrians will be prioritized. This will be an extremely pedestrian-friendly site, and that becomes very important because this is about 3/8 of a mile from the Lakewood Fort Mac MARTA station. We want people to come, be able to get off the MARTA train and have a pleasant walk throughout the site, where they are getting to their various shopping destinations or their work, their office, or home. This building is the municipal market. There's another little building in front of it that actually runs across this whole stretch. So the idea is you've got a tremendous public plaza in front of this municipal market that becomes kind of a focal point of the development. The hotels on this side, apartments over retail on that side, and you can see how the thinking is coming together. More views of the plaza with the public art focus. Entrances off of Lee Street where you get to the grocery store. You see the little market right in there that's planned in the future. And then an aerial view. I'm sorry. Yeah. Then an aerial view of that stretch, the Fort Mac Mile. So the MARTA station's down here. You've got the municipal market right here with the plaza. You've got the hotel. Got another parking deck with the theater use, a apartments in this area, the Forces Command building, the grocery store, all of that is along the heart of the development. And that piece, we show you this whole thing, but that stuff that I was just showing you is the stuff that Stephen McCauley is planning to build in phase 1.
How high are those buildings, like the hotel and stuff?
So these buildings, they're 4 or 5 stories in general, and the SPI limits them to. I thought there was a 70-foot average.
It might be just because construction costs are not really
All right, sorry for the sidebar comment. So, before we move on to the star of the show, Kieta Holmes, I wanted to offer our master developer